Recording in progress.
Good evening. My name is Wahid Lutfi. Let me share with you what I have for you tonight. So as you can see, we're discussing Python again. And then let me do a slideshow here. From the slideshow, I'm going to just discuss Python less data structure tonight in continuation of the previous discussion. We already covered 2 videos on tuple data structure and 2 videos on list, and today is session 3. Later on, we will be covering on another video set, string, class, and data dictionary. So this is the first video on tuple, and this is the second video on tuple with a tutorial on list as well. And then tutorial number 1 is for list. And we covered those topic that is listed here, as well as some examples. And then this is the video that was for tutorial number 2, that we covered list, insert, remove, pop method, index, underscore, double underscore, magic method length, and then len and the length method, the shadow copy versus actual copy, the sort, and sorting in ascending order, descending order, printing a list in sorting order, and also printing a list in reverse order, just the item element and not sorting it, reverse order, but you can also do sort with reverse order. We also cover some of the class and object-oriented method, as well as the dir command on the list type and help on it. So tonight, which is list data structure tutorial 3, I'm going to cover list comprehension. List comprehension is very well suited for just programming, and you're going to be using some for statement, some if statement in between, and then some expression that you're going to do some calculation. So it is really good to know list comprehension. We're also covering the enumerate function. And then also we're going to cover the count function on the list. You're counting, let's say, the number of items in occurrence of a list. And the sum function, the double underscore length, again, length in the len method, which is basically within the for loop and while loop. When we do index and then pop method, we want to use those length method, and we want to just traverse through either a for statement or a while statement, and then we are going to get the list there. So without further ado, let me just take you back to the session where I have MyWebUniversity free education videos open. Please make sure you like and subscribe our videos because these are all made for you. That helps me understand what your needs are, so I can fulfill your needs based on your request. On the comment section, make some comments saying that I like, for example, let's say, cover data dictionary, or I have this question on the enumerate function or zip function or something, that I could just say, okay, let me make a video for you that helps you on that one. So far we have covered Python tuples and list. And without further ado, let's get to colab.research.google.com. And this is a port HTTPS secure page. This is the notebook for a Jupyter notebook for Google, which is free for use. And you're just basically getting a virtual machine, a Linux virtual machine, that you can practice and then learn Python, as well as run some Linux commands as well. So like, for example, if I say something like, let's just not get into Linux, let's just get Python stuff. So at this time, I'm going to just declare first, show you on my notebook that I already did some data structure, creating a list. So I'm going to just copy this list here and since I don't want to type it again, as you can see, the programming language is the list variable that we assign it. Since it is a list here with the left bracket and right bracket, and the list of 5 programming language, which are C, C++, Java, Python, and Go language. So if I say print prog underscore language, it's gonna just print them, those programming language, which are shown right here. As well as if I just wanna say, okay, give me the type of this programming language, what are this? So it should say this is a class list, and that is what it is. And you can see here, class list, because program type. So since we know the type in the programming language, I'm not gonna print the second one, line 3, I'm gonna remove it. And this time I wanna print the content of them. If I wanna print the content of them, I can just say for a language and programming language in that list, and then I'm gonna do this colon, meaning a block separator for the code. As you know, the colon is Python is a block separator, and then you're having an indentation of 4 columns, and then you say print language. This would just basically print the language. This colon separator in Java and C, C++ or the braces that you're doing it. There's no indentation on those languages. But Python requires 4 columns here, and then the separator is automatically with this code block separator column. So now we did this one, and it listed there. But if we want to see the numbers, how many occurrences are there, each one of them, we could start with an index here, say I for index is equal, let's say we start with 0, and then we say print I comma, and then as we go through the for statement, we're going to say I plus equal 1. So now we're going to get with index of 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So if I just want to do the same thing, accomplish this one with enumerate function. Let me just show you the usage of enumerate function. The enumerate function take a list as an argument. You could do that one as a list or a tuple, whatever you put it into the enumerate, you get 2 items in it, which is an index as well as the item itself. So now we could just say for index or in for index, and then also the language in programming in enumerate, and then enumerate, and then you could just say enumerate and then programming language, and then you just say print I comma language. This one, when you do this one, basically it's gonna do the same thing, but notice that here we started with 0 as C, and that is the second line. So in order for me to distinguish the 2 lines, I could say, and instead of that, using the comment section here, we just put this one in a print statement, and then we put it within the code, and we say function, and then put a new line character, and then close it, and then do this. So now we're going to get a usage of enumerate function, and then print it. If I want another new line character here, I could do it, obviously, new line characters. And then just instead of usage of enumerate, we just say with enumerate function. And then this one is going to run. And as you can see with enumerate function, this is start this syntax, and then without the enumerate, we had to use about 4 lines of syntax. I is equal 0 for a language and programming language printed, and then within this for statement, we have to increment the value of this. So now if I just want to change, instead of index of 1, 0, I start with 1. Notice this one gets at the 1. So I say, well, this other one, I want it also as 1. So the enumerate function here has a second argument. You could say start with 1. And then now both programming languages, both for statements with enumerate is going to start with 1, goes to 5, and also with index. Except the enumerate is a little bit shorter. So if you want to write shorter code, concise code, you don't need to do this. You could just write that, and that's going to be exactly what you need to do. This is start, you could just start with the number 2 if you like to, but obviously it doesn't make sense when that is the first item. You could do that one. And then that's what enumerate is going to help you with this. So, and that was our first example. Let me just create a list comprehension. Let's see. List comprehension works like this. So you could just, let me just run this one first as empty list. Now we have no code here. I'm going to say X and then is equal. And then we are going to declare a list of comprehension. We say X for X and range of 10 numbers. So this would be, and there's no space here needed to be more clear. And then we say print X. This is basically listing 0 through 9 because the last number in the range is 10. If I want to cover 10, I'm going to do start with range of 11, then you get all the numbers here. So let's get this one to 12. And then we're going to start with number 2, for example, and then until 12, and then increment of 2. And then we're going to also do to the power of 2 to the power of 2. So if I just print any numbers to the power of it, let's see what I get here. So I get 4, 16, 36, 64, 100. That means if I just print the X before the numbers, and that is what this item is. If this one was not a square root, obviously I would have those numbers 2, 4, 6, 8, and this. But then I could create another list just to show you the difference. So x1 is equal, let's say x1 for x1 and range of 2, 12, 2. This one I'm going to just say x1 to the power of 2. So now I'm going to say print x1 just to show you the difference. So the 2 to the power of 2 is 4, 4 to the power of 4 is 16, 6 to the power of 6 is 36, and 8 is 64, and 10 is 100. As you can see, that is easy to know. So the expression here within the for statement, we're just going through this range function, and we're doing this kind of computation. But at the same time, if I want to just get the math square root of this, so I could just say on the first line, say import math as m. Now m is already the same as math, an alias to the math function. Then I could just say, for example, for statement, I could say for a number, whatever it is there, that number in range of, let's say this time x1, because not a range, actually nx1. We're going to say nx1, but then we say print, we're going to just say m dot square root of, and then num. So this one will just go back, give us the original number of this. Notice this square root of 4 is 2, the square root of 16 is 4, and then 36 is 6, and then 64 is 8, and 100. So you could get that one as well here. And then you could also use the enumerate function here. Let's try to do enumerate here. You could just say for I and I num, and then enumerate, and then we just say enumerate, and then we are going to say x1, and then we say print I comma num, and then let's see if we can get the same number of those ones with the index being 2, 4. Let's see if that one returned the same number. So the first one, index of the 4 is 2, but we're not going to get the actual number that we are going to get. So here we need to just say 4 is there, 16 and 36 and 64. And then instead of this one, we're going to just say m dot square root of num. That would be the actual number. And then we print it like that. And that is exactly what we want. Here, if I just have a print separator here, print a line separator as a new line, then you could see the difference here with the enumerate. So 2 is equal. So all you have to do is put plus and then quotation and then equal sign and then that and then plus symbol here. That would be just saying those values. So here, because I did at the square root, this is not allowing the plus here along with the string. You have to convert it back to a string. If you do this one, because it says that floating point in a string, you cannot do that one. So all I have to do is, if I want to just do this one, I could just say a string of this one. Excuse me. So plus this one, plus and then a string of this one. So those two numbers are going to be representing in a string, and you could see the values are there. But if you put a comma and then put those ones, you could also do that way here. It's up to you how you want to do it. It's not a problem how you could make those changes. So let's get back to this one. We already covered the programming language here for statement with programming language, Java, C, C++, Go language. I think I did already this one, and then the language, yeah, we did already cover that one. And then the second example we wanted to cover was list comprehension. So you could also do another list comprehension. Let me just do this one. Delete everything here. With list comprehension, you could just do a number of things. Here we are doing to the power of, and then we start with 1 to 12, and then x modulo 2 is equal. So this one, when we do the print of x, obviously you could get x modulo any number equal to something else. So if I just say this one is a bigger number to 100, let's say, and then I say x mod 10, for example, is equal 0, then I could just get those numbers here as well. Or I could just say not equal 0. This is the other numbers that are not divisible by 10. So all the negative number as well as 4 and so on. So here, if I just do this one to get a list of comprehension with 10 numbers, and then I just say if x mod 2, this one will give me all odd numbers, because x mod 2 not equal 0, then it would be odd numbers. And then if I want even numbers, that would be equal 0, that to the power of 0. This is again right here, if you start with x, that is exactly what I was talking about earlier, x0 to 4, 8. And then again, mod 2 is there. You could do this one. And then let's see if we could do something like x mod 2 is equal 0 here, and then put this if statement here. That expression is going to do this for that, and then just run it. And notice that every time x is true and false, we're just saying give me the numbers between those numbers, and then just give me to say whether they're true or false. So this is a little bit different than the for statement that we were doing here. Let's just do this one, and then here, instead of this, if I just say x for x is equal this, and then I could just say print this one, print x, and then again modify x a second time. So notice this one is 0, 1 through 9, and then now this time says 0 module 2 is 0 and says yes, true. 1 module 2 is not, it's false. Until 9 is also false. 8 is true. Any even number is true, and then that's a false. So you can do a kind of Boolean expression on a range of values with that expression to compare it. There's a lot of variety of ways you can do this one to just print some numbers and then do bigger numbers. So to make like some bigger numbers, let's say x to the power of let's say x, that is a big number. So if I just want to print this number, print x, this is going to just print bigger numbers. So this is only for 10. If I just want to do it for 100, and imagine if we do it for a million or billion, this number will just increase and increase, and it's so much. So I could just print it rather than in column wise. I could just say, let's say for just to do it for up to 20, and that is big enough for item and x, and then print item. So now we're doing that, just that print statement. Now you can see that they are printing it, and it goes like a triangle, Bermudian triangle, so, or Pascal triangle. So look at this for item and x, and then item this. You could do a lot of these numbers. If you go to 50, notice this range is going to go much bigger, and then your graph is going to go with that same kind of things, how big changes. And so this is one way you could do it. And then let's just clean up this one and show you some more examples of count, for example, with list comprehension. So I say xx is equal for x in range of 10. So if I just do this one, print of x, notice that this one is basically giving me all the numbers between 0 and 9. So if I just include, let's say 11, so I could get, range is always giving you 1 minus that number. If you want to just include the last number, you have to do a bigger number than that. Just whatever, if you're including the 10, you need to go 11 here. That's not a problem. Here, I'm going to just do another print statement and then sum of x. Notice how much fast Python you can do on the fly with this kind of calculation. You can do this one. So if I just do this one between 4 numbers, you can see the sum is accurate. 1 plus 2 is 3, 3 plus 3 is 6, and you get this one. Similarly, with 5, it would did that, the one with 5, that is 10. With 4, it was 4 should be 7 or 6 actually. 1 plus 2, we already did that one. So with 6, 10 plus 6 is 15. So here's how we count: 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5. So the combination of all that 3 becomes 15. And then here, this number, if you do it with hundreds, obviously the sum, the count is very fast and efficient. You get the number here and there. So this is how you do that 100. And then now you can also do some kind of computation. Let's say you go between 0 to 10, you could do a sum of it. And then now I want to just do a count on it. We did a sum already. We say print count of the number 3. The number 3, how many counters there? Between 0 to 10 or 9 in this case, it should be only one count. So it should say 1. Count is 3. Let's see, count is not defined. Print count is not defined. So let's see what, let me see. Sorry. That count is actually as a method of X. So if I do a dir X, notice that count is somewhere here. It is not a Python function, but it is a X as a list count. So the way you count it, you just have to do a object-oriented type of statement. You say print x.count and then count the number 3 here. And then you just say there. You can also do something like this, say something like this. You could say if x.count, if x.count number, let's see if we can get that number. Let me just say, what I wanted to do, you could count on anything. You could say print x.count and then do a 5 for each of the items. So you could just look at it and say there. And now if I want to get for all of the item, I could use a for statement. I could say for I and X, I, and then I'm going to say item is 1, and then the next one is I'm going to say num and enumerate, and I'm going to say X here, and then we're going to just say print for example, first let's print that one, I and num, see what value we're getting from this one. And then here we're getting 0, 0 and 1 and 1 and so on. So because the numbers are the same, so if we are just saying that, go ahead, also give me the count of them and see what are the count of them. I could just say x.count of the I. This would also give me the third column, the count of them, how many occurrences. So all of them are happening only once. But if I just have, let's say on the X, if I just say X is X.insert, and then I'm gonna just insert 10 again. 10 is not there. Let's just insert 5 one more time. Then only 5 should be just showing twice. And then that's what it does right here. So the 5 element 5 was happening twice when we did the count on. And then the other items are there. Similarly, if I just want to get 4 also, I could say x.insert 0, 4. We could insert it any place we want to do it. We could insert it at item number 1, and then it is just a list that's going to take duplicate elements. So we could do it now. For item 4 is also 2 occurrences there. And if we didn't do a for statement, we could just check for existence of this one, x.count of 5, and that would give us two occurrence right here, and then and the same thing with let's just delete everything here. Count, insert 5, and then this and this sum, we don't want to print it, so this would just say 2 because 5 is twice. And if I just do the same thing with 4, I could just insert another item like x dot insert, and then let's say 1 comma 4. So at this time I'm going to do another x dot count 4, and then also x dot count something that is not there. So I'm going to do a print statement in front of these ones, so we get all of these ones listed, because Jupyter Notebook, once you go to the last one, only printed. The rest of them, you don't have a print statement, they are getting ignored. They say that you know the value of it, that's why you're not printing it. But if I just print this one, print x dot count of this one, so these 3 statement, 5, 6, 7 statement, I'm going to run this one. It's going to say 2, 2, and 0. 10 is not showing up. 4 is already inserted, and it was on the range here because we had the number 4. So if I just say print the list x here, now we have duplicate element here. And last time we told you that you can delete some element also. So you could say, for example, x dot remove, and then the 4, you could remove that one. And then after this one, let's see, we are going to do that one, print x, and we're going to not remove this one again, add it. So let's not insert the 4 anymore. So we just have one element and we remove it. And then we could just see that the 4 is not there in the list again. But 5 is there twice. And it's once in the first entry and the second one. So in order to convert this list to a set and then convert it back to get a list without duplicated element. So notice that here, since we did all these information, the last item 5 is printed twice. And then the count of 5 is also showing 2 times here. So we're not going to count on these 2. I just want to concentrate on showing you with the 5. So as you can see, 5 is printed twice, and one is the index of that one. So if I want to get the index of it, I could say print x dot index, and then get the number 5 here. So the number 5 is here. We're going to see that the index of it to see what is there. And you can see this one, it says that you cannot put a string here. The element is 5, so you have to put integer, and it's going to say it found that on index 0. But because we have it also on this one, if I put another comma here and say 2, it's going to give me the index of the last one that it found it. So this is 0, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5 is this one. That's why it returned 5 here, because of the syntax on line number 7. So let's get this one now. We're going to just do one more thing. We already did these ones, so let me get rid of these lines. And then at this time, we know that 5 is only there twice. And then if I just print x, 5 is twice there. So I'm going to just make it a non-duplicate list x. So in order to do that one, I could do it in one shot here inside this print x statement. I could say make it a list, make it a set, and this one will be just accurate there. Because what you're saying is the inner function here, set x as set met function is going to take this list as an argument and it's gonna eliminate the duplicate element, because set is going to give you distinct element, and then returning but back to list is going to just give us a list. So I could just say print this, and now let's see why it didn't do what it should have done, because I missed one parenthesis here. The last parenthesis should have been there, and then now it's a list. So if I just say, go ahead, give me the type of this one, I could assign it to variables back to X, and then do that one for shorter form. I could do that one and says list. But if I just don't want to do this one, I could just say X is equal, and then get rid of this last argument and say print X, and then print type of X. I could have done that one as well. So right here, you can see now it is giving you the list without duplicate element. 5 is only once. And then if I just do another count on the 5 here, like I did this line here on line 4, I put it on line 9, and then line 9 is going to say 1, and it does 1. Okay, I hope you like this one. Let me just show you the last part where I'm doing the pop and index. So here, last time when I showed the pop and index, I believe on the one of the for statement that had a while statement, at some point it went to an infinite loop, and then I changed the while statement to if statement. What I wanted to do is, when you are doing a while statement, you have to have a way to get out of the loop. Here I was doing a pop, but when I changed the code to from pop to index, if you run the same code here, this is what happens here. Let me show you. So right here, this one is good because we're doing this. So let's say the programming language, we need to just first declare the programming language. So where is the programming language here? For enumerate programming language, let's start length pop L3. So let's just, we say programming language is this one, and this list is going to be written before this one, within this, and then now we are doing this one. And for while length L3, L3 is not defined here because we're just doing length of programming language dot length. Sorry, I closed something here. Let me just say while programming language, while language, and this time language dot length of pop. Okay, so at this time, this code is not the same code that I had the other one. I have to rewrite it. And let me just see what I had last time here, because some of it is, yeah, while using enumerate, that is different. Pop for I and L. I'm looking at the code here quickly. Copy AC for computer science. For language NAC, language root. Okay, I'm going to just use this right here. I'm going to just use this code to rewrite it, because it doesn't make sense what I wrote last time. And some of it is different variables and everything. So when you look at the code right here, you have to look at this unindented does not match. So this one, obviously, that is something easily. When you read the code, say that this is unindented. But then L3.pop, we're going to just have to say, on this one, I'm going to just say for L and for the language and enumerate, I'm not going to use the enumerate in this case. I'm just going to go through the program language like that. And then we're going to just say print the language first. And then we say language print L. and then L dot length, that one, and then pop, L dot pop, and this would be now kind of making sense. Let's see if that does it correctly. Now say string object that no attribute of pop. So this is like these methods that are there for language and programming language. Let's see if we don't do this as a function, we have to do it as a list, and then do it, and then a string object no attribute of pop. So L dot pop for L for this one was pushed there for L in language there. Let me just make this one a shorter name. This the name, it doesn't matter how short it is, but it's much easier to read it correctly. For L in language, print L, and then I'm going to just at this time I'm just going to print it first, so that should work. And then now I'm going to say F L dot of a length of L, if length of language language is greater than 0, then we're going to pop. So then we're going to say print pop, and then pop, and then we're going to just say which item was popped. So we say L dot pop is the method. We're going to just show the method that we popped. So let's see if this works or not. String object has no method pop. If length of language is there, language dot pop is the accurate, not L. L is just a string. You're right. The Python was telling us that this is just an item that I'm printing, but I want to pop C, C++, Java, which is inside the list language. So you cannot just say L dot pop here. So this is there, and then at the same time, if I just say, go ahead, do everything. So I could change this one while, because we stopped at Java and within that for statement, I want to do at all of them. So I change this one with while. Now it's going to do all of them. Notice that this is the case. So language C, C++, Java, Python, Go, and then C is there, pop the Go language. From last in, first out. So it popped Go language first, Python second, Java third, C++ fourth, and C last. So that is how the pop works. But if I just want to show the index of this one, let's see, we're going to also show the index of it. Print, we're going to say, I'm going to use a F string here, and I'm going to just say the language itself. So language is going to be C or C++ or something. And I'm going to put it into this brace because that is the value of this. And then I'm going to do another brace, and then I'm going to say the bracket, because we want to just show the language dot index of, and then the item is L. That would just do the same thing here. Now we're printing that one. So let's see if we could just get the value of it, and we do. So this line 5, in this case, it is just doing an F statement. But because this time we're using a while statement, last time we missed the print statement. Somehow when I was writing it quickly, I missed the pop method at the inside the while loop to make the while loop false. Otherwise, if the this one is the condition of the language is always greater than 0, it will go to infinitely. At some point, there should be no elements in the language. So at this time, if I just print it, notice if I just say print language, it's going to just give me an empty list. And then you can see that it is an empty list right here. Okay, so this is a correction from the last video within the while statement that I wanted to tell you that you didn't have to go with a while if statement. I did that one just because I did not have this pop statement. If you're missing this pop statement, this while statement is gonna just always be true. That number, so that is going to go to print those as it did on the last video. But right away I changed it to if statement, and then I thought about it afterward that while it didn't, but then I said, well, maybe I did not make the while statement to become false. At some point it has to be that condition has to just say this condition is no longer true. With the while statement, it works the opposite of until statement. So until is not in this Python language. You just use while statement, but in C and C++, you do use a while until statement. Until some condition is it's going to return, start the condition with false, and until it becomes true. The while condition is start with true, and then at some point it becomes false and it exits the loop. I hope you enjoyed it. Have a great time. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to go to our website at my YouTube channel, which is my YouTube, sorry, my MyWebUniversity free education videos. And then watch it and enjoy it and like it and subscribe to it. Have a good one. Take care. God bless you all. Bye.